Hello everyone. And if you are seeing this right now and I haven't get started, is because you are watching the replay. So bear with me while I get started with today's message of the day. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. So hello to everyone. Just making some notes so I don't forget to mention what Spirit wants me to talk about today. So today we have a new moon solar eclipse and I decided I'm gonna do the messages in English and Spanish separately, or I might start the Spanish section after this. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Today we have, and then we are talking about the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. So there are a few things that I want to talk to you guys about today. Thank you. And one of the main things that I want to talk to you about is how to get ready for the great conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. So, hello everyone. So, I will say this, things are about to change a little bit around here. I know that I've been very outspoken, I believe. However, I'm about to become even more outspoken because Spirit told me that in order for me to step fully into my purpose of helping you, I have to become even more outspoken than I have been in the past, okay? So that may mean that, I may be presenting to you some new opinions that you may not like, or some new opinions or some new ways of thinking that have never been introduced to you before, or that maybe other spiritual healers haven't introduced to you before. And that's okay. But I want you to listen with an open mind, because these are the messages that Spirit says needs to be delivered, okay? So I know that I have, reserved myself a little bit sometimes in the past because I didn't want to offend anyone, but Spirit says, sugarcoating everything, not wanting to step on people's toes is not helping people, okay? I have to be my full self. So I'm just letting you guys know, because the first thing we're going to talk about today is something that we have to deal with today in the new moon solar eclipse, and that is releasing these past ideas that in order for us to do well, we cannot amount wealth, okay? So there is this disbelief in the spiritual community that wealth is evil, that being wealthy is bad, and that being abundant is bad. Yet you ask for abundance from Spirit, but at the same time ask for stability. And stability is a word that I want you to take out of your vocabulary completely. I want you to take the word stability out of your vocabulary completely, because someone asked me a question about how can I be stable and abundant. Those are oxymorons, babe. Being stable and abundant is not a possibility, because you cannot be stable and be abundant at the same time, because stability is energy. Abundance is energy in motion. When you're abundant, the energy is constantly moving. When you're stable, you're stuck. You're stable. The word stable itself is a curse to you, because you are wishing for stability and wishing for stability and wishing for stability. And then you're like, please, God, please give me stability. And then you're like, but God is like, but I am giving you stability. You're stuck in the same place. You're still in the same place. So I am giving you the stability you're praying for. Okay? So you need to get the word stability out of your mind, out of your vocabulary, because you are speaking. As you speak, you are creating. Okay? So stop using the word stability. That's the first thing I want you to do today during this new moon solar eclipse that gives you an opportunity to start anew. I stop using the word stability, because stability comes from the Latin word to stay. to stay behind, to stay stuck, to stay stable like a table. A table sits in your house. A table is stable. You don't want to be a table. You want to be a pyramid that grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. So if you are afraid of change, you will never have abundance. If you are afraid of growth, you will never have abundance. In order to be spiritually grow, you have to let go of the fear of growth. Okay, you have to let go of the fear of growth, and you have to embrace the fact that being spiritually successful and enlightened goes hand in hand with being financially, emotionally, mentally, and physically abundant as well. Because let me ask you a question. If you are not comfortable financially, and you don't know if you're going to be able to feed your children, if you don't know if you're going to be able to take care of yourself, you will not have spiritual peace. Okay? So I want you to throw out all the BS that other spiritual healers are feeding you, that are telling you it's bad to want wealth, it's bad to want abundance, that's not spiritual. That's bullshit. Okay? Because I want to see one spiritual person that if they are offered $1 million isn't going to take it. Okay, obviously there are certain things that we need to make sure that we're not doing, like selling our souls for things that are wrong. That's different. But what I'm talking about is letting go of the bad connotation to money, because the more afraid you are of money, the more negative energy you have towards money, the less money you will make, the less stability you will have, the less spiritual peace you will have. Okay? Because if you are not able to invest in yourself, okay, financially, then why would spirit invest in you if you're not willing to give sacrifices, okay? It is a give and take. It is a give and take. You have to have, obviously, enough dignity to not take money for the wrong reasons, but have love for money that you value yourself. Because if you're not valuing yourself enough, then spirit is going to say, you know what? If you don't value your energy, I'm not going to keep giving you these blessings, okay? To take it back to the era of slavery, the slaves sacrificed not just their livelihood, but they sacrificed their lives, okay? And this is why a lot of people with African American blood, indigenous blood, have a lot of magical power. Why? Because in exchange for their sacrifice, in exchange for their suffering, a lot of people of indigenous blood and of African blood received extra boosts in spiritual elevation, and that boost ended up actually being inherited by their descendants. So those of us, I'm giving you a secret right now that no other spiritual healer will tell you. Every spiritual healer will talk about slavery. We'll talk about how the terrible slavery was, which it was. However, in exchange for the suffering in slavery, our people received an extra boost of magical ability. Because why? Because spirit rewards sacrifice. Spirit rewards blood, sweat, and tears. So when you are crying, when you are suffering, spirit is more likely to hear you. Spirit is more likely to want to assist you because they know you need you need their assistance, okay? There is an extra boost of magic to those who have suffering in their ancestry, because that is the reward for suffering. Just like when you sacrifice money, spirit says, you know what? They sacrifice their time, because it's the same thing. When you pay for something, you are just like during slavery. Our ancestors paid with their lives. Okay? Well, we pay with our time. When I want to buy this, right? I have to make the money to buy this. That means that I have to pay in time, in energy, to make the money to pay for this, okay? So money is an energetic exchange. Magic is an energetic exchange. Magic and money and love, all of these things come from the same pot. And they all require sacrifice, okay? They require the sacrifice. But another thing that we must learn is how we are speaking into existence. We have the ability to speak things into existence, okay? We have the Ace of Swords here, talking about our words, our communication, our thoughts, our words. They become emotions, which become actions, which become physical, material manifestations. Okay? So, talking about what to release during this new moon solar eclipse, I want you to release those sacrifices. Release those sacrifices that you've made. Release those blockages. Release those words that are manifesting more blockages into your life. Release the thought and the emotion that you have to suffer. Okay? Release the suffering. Release that energy out of yourself. Release the energy of lack. Release the thoughts of lack. Because when we are in a lack vibration, we cannot raise ourselves to the fifth dimension. We cannot raise ourselves to the fifth dimension when we are in a lack vibration. Why? Because when you are in lack, you are telling the universe that you think that there is not enough for everyone. And that is not the fifth dimensional vibration. That is the third dimensional vibration. The third dimensional vibration tells us that we have to compete with one another because there's not enough, right? Yet we don't think, hey, maybe if I supported my friend and my friend supported me, and then a whole bunch of us supported each other, we could all be wealthy together, right? We supported each other's businesses, or, maybe we worked for one another, or maybe whatever way we decided to do that. If we decided to take back our power and stop being slaves to the system and actually take back our power, okay? Because if every single person on this live followed their life purpose, followed their spiritual purpose, their life purpose, they wouldn't have to work for someone or do something that they don't want to do. Now, I understand if you like your job and that's all good and dandy, but your job can let you go tomorrow. Your job can decide, you know what, I don't need you anymore, so you're gone. So what is your backup plan? So even if you like your job, there should be a backup that you are doing to fulfill your purpose in this world, okay? So even if you love your job, again, I'm going to repeat that. Even if you love your job, I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm telling you, even if you love your job, there is a higher purpose for you. So there should be a backup plan that you have. Listen, if this doesn't work out, if so-and-so decides that they don't need me anymore tomorrow, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And the way that you keep people enslaved is by making them think that they have no other option but what you are offering. So when you are talking about your employers, when we are complaining about our employers, when we are complaining about the big corporations in the system, what we're really doing is really complaining about ourselves, because we are the ones that are allowing this abuse to happen. We are the ones that are allowing these things to happen because we don't have a backup plan. We don't have a plan B. We don't have a plan of what happens if that company closes down tomorrow. Why? We don't have the focus on our purpose. We're just kind of sitting around waiting for someone else to tell us what we're supposed to be doing, because we don't want to take responsibility for our purpose, okay? And what ends up happening is that you could find yourself in a deeper situation of lack, which then causes you to lose your true self, which is the energy of the Empress, which is the energy of abundance. It's the energy of love. It's the energy of fertility, of prosperity, of pushing forward, of growth, okay? Now, it's really funny to me when people tell spiritual people that they should do their job for free, okay? And this is why it's funny to me. Because everybody wants abundance, but nobody wants to value themselves or value other people's gifts. If we learn to value ourselves, we learn to value other people's gifts. I had to have this conversation with my friend yesterday. My friend has a cleaning business, and she is not being properly compensated for her work. People are taking advantage of her. And I said to her, I was like, if I hire you, I'm going to pay you what you are worth. I'm not going to pay you what you want to cheat yourself at and charge, charge less. No, I don't want you to give me a break because I'm your friend. I want you to tell me how much it is that you want to get paid, how much it is that you value your work because you do a good job, how much it is that you value your work at, and then I am going to pay you that because that is what you are telling me you are worth, okay? Because if we support our friends, if you are a true friend, you support your friends, and you do not allow your friends to devalue themselves, okay? You do not allow your friends to devalue themselves. Period, blank, end of story. You don't allow your friends to do that. And then a friend that wants to devalue you is also not a friend, because then it's not the right vibration. You're not on the same level. Okay, you're not on the same level in the sense of energy exchange. Now, I don't mind exchanging a reading here or there with a friend, because if I value your readings and you value my readings, I will exchange them with you. That's fine by me, because you're exchanging energy. So it doesn't matter whether you do it with money or you do it with energy, but don't expect always to get a break from your friend just because your friend is your friend. You should actually be supporting your friend and paying full price for what they are offering, because you should be valuing them and they should be valuing themselves. Okay? And if we are constantly thinking that there is not enough in the universe, there will never be enough for us. So I want you to get rid of the word stability. Please don't use the word stability. Going into the new year, please don't ask Spirit to give you stability, because then Spirit is just going to give you the same thing that you have had all of 2020. We need to go into 2021. Right now, we are in the period of darkness is what they call it. So we have from 12/12 to 12/21, we have the period of darkness. So the Pisces era, okay, the Pisces era ended on 12/12/2020, and the Aquarius era is starting on 12/21/2020. It is a major portal. It's going to be a major portal of prosperity and abundance. However, if you do not learn to value yourself, that portal will give you more of what you have. Meaning that if you don't value yourself, if you don't release the negative things that are holding you back before this portal opens, this portal will manifest more of that which you don't desire. So, do you have daddy issues? Work on those daddy issues over the next few days. How does daddy issues come out in your life? Okay, look at your relationships with men. How are your relationships with men? Are your relationships with men negative? Do you have bad assumptions about men? Do you have prejudice against men? What is your, that is how daddy issues show up. Do you have unhealthy relationships with men? That is how daddy issues show up in your life. So deal with those things over the next couple of days. Do you have mommy issues? How does that show up? You don't have the ability to have a respectful conversation with another female. You find females to always be petty and bitchy and any other derogatory word that you can possibly put on a female. You don't support your females, or you don't feel like females support you. Though mother issues show up in this way, they can also show up on your physical body. So a lot of us, especially women, when we menstruate, we tend to have more pain on one side of the body than the other, depending on what issues we have most connected to our father or our mother. A lot of us who have mother issues have more pain on our left ovaries, and those who have father issues tend to have more pain on their right side of the body. Especially during the times of menstruation. It is the same thing for men. Instead of it hitting you in your reproductive organs, it hits you in your knees. Okay, so your left knee, your right knee, those are symbols of feeling like people or parents are holding you back from your fullest potential. So deal with those issues, acknowledge them, and say, I let go of them. Use your magic to let them go. You can burn a candle. You can use the clearing. If you have my clearing collection, you can use the clearing collection. Rub it on yourself. Anoint a candle and talk about and meditate on the releasing patterns. Okay. What else could be showing up? Inner child issues, feeling like lack of love, feeling that you don't deserve to be loved, or you're not worthy of something, feeling that you're not getting enough attention. If you're a clingy person, if you're constantly texting your significant other or constantly feeling like you need reassurance, that tells me that your inner child did not receive enough love, enough validation, so you need to deal with those issues. Okay, so if your inner child did not feel like it got enough love, enough validation, enough good job, pats on the head, okay, you need to give those to yourself. You need to give yourself self-love. And one of the ways to give yourself self-love is to value your contribution to, and it doesn't have to always be about money, but value your contribution to relationships, to the world, okay? And kind of ask yourself, how am I contributing? How am I doing my part? Okay, the whole world, everyone wants the world to change, but no one wants to change. We can't change the world if we don't change for ourselves first, because we first have to change and then manifest that into the world, so that, because the world will match your vibration. Each and every one of us is a king and queen of our own realities. So therefore, if we do not change first, meaning, if we don't change the way we eat, we don't change the way we speak, we don't change the way we feel, we don't change the way we think, if we don't let go of our broke-mindedness, if we don't let go of our limiting beliefs, guess what? That is what is going to project itself into your world. That is what it's going to show up. And you may tell me, Priestess May, I don't have a business. How am I supposed to change that? It starts with your inner self. It starts with yourself. It doesn't have to start with your business. It has to start with you. So it has to start with respecting your temple. Okay, I started a few weeks ago, I started juicing. So I wanted to change. So I started juicing. I started drinking more water. I started juicing. I started not drinking as much caffeine. I started not eating as much solid food. Right now, this week would be a great time for you to do a fast of just consuming water and juice, like fruit juices that you actually juice yourself, or maybe not juicing if you're not able to juice at this time, but maybe consuming more fruits and vegetables and parting ways with eggs and dairy and meat products. Okay, so you need to somehow shift the energy, because yes, plant spirits can help, crystals can help, but if we're not helping the crystals and the plants, their effects, and the candles that we burn, their effects will be very temporary, because we are allowing ourselves to sit in a cesspool of low vibration. So if we're not working towards elevating ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, it's not going to show up spiritually. Okay? So the King of Cups is coming up here. So getting in touch with your emotions and knowing, how do you feel? How do you truly feel about certain situations, rather than looking to maybe family members or friends and kind of copying their feelings or their opinions about situations that are going on. How do you truly feel about situations? How are you speaking your truth? How are you not speaking your truth? Because one of the biggest blockages in us being able to manifest for ourselves are throat chakra blockages. And that is something that I had to learn for a very long time, that I had to speak my truth. I had to tell people when they hurt me, I had to tell them, listen, what you did this to me. And not just did this to me, but also taking accountability in how I allowed others to make me feel, okay? Because no one can make you feel a certain way unless you let them feel that way. So, taking accountability in how we allow others to make us feel, so that we can speak our truth, okay? The Knight of Wands coming up here, all about news. So the Knight of Wands here, Jupiter is coming into the system. We have the ending of Pisces season, the Pisces era, and the beginning of the Aquarius era, where we move from the third dimensional energy to a fifth dimensional energy. Fifth dimensional energy of wealth, abundance, prosperity, love, peace. But again, you're not going to feel that if you're not dealing with the current situation you're in. If you're not dealing with your mommy issues and your daddy issues and your lack of worth and your lack of value, if we're not dealing with those things, we are not going to be able to elevate to a fifth dimensional place. And the fact that people need meat to stay healthy is a lie, because vegetables actually have more protein than meat does, actually. So if you do the research, not just what the media wants to tell you to continue feeding your body low consciousness so that you are easily controlled, you will realize that you don't actually need meat to survive. You actually don't need meat to be healthy at all. Okay. Now, I'm not a doctor, so you can do your own research, but meat, the protein meat lie is a huge lie. It's the hugest lie in the entire universe. Okay. You actually don't need meat to survive. There are plants that have 3 times, 4 times, 5 times more protein than meat does. Okay, so that is actually the biggest lie, because if they can keep you eating meat, and now I'm not preaching becoming a vegan or whatever, vegetarian, I'm saying lowering your meat consumption, because when you're consuming, like Archangel Uriel said the other day, when you're consuming another consciousness, you're consuming the low vibrational consciousness of that dead animal. Okay, so all the suffering, all of that, you can get all of your vitamins and minerals. I know this as an herbalist. You can get all your vitamins and minerals and nutrients from plants, because what does meat eat? Meat eats plants. So cows, all of these animals that we're eating, they all eat plants. And then they tell us, in order for us to consume what the animal is consuming, okay? Some people that have lost their menstruation, a lot of people actually have alleviated their menstruation, because having such a heavy menstruation is actually not healthy for the female body. Okay, if you do your research on why, we have to realize that a lot of the medicine that we have was written by man about a woman, not actually women who are living as women, who have not been taught the lie that having heavy periods and heavy menstruation is a good thing. It is not a good thing, okay? Because when your body is clean, your menstrual cycle should actually be very light, okay? When your body is clean, then you would be more fertile, because your menstrual cycle is literally your body aborting eggs. So your body is aborting fertile eggs, meaning that you will be less fertile and have less likelihood of becoming pregnant the more cycles that you actually have. Okay? So the more cycles that you actually end up having as a woman, you can look this up. I'm not a doctor, but I am an herbalist, and I have done the study and I have done the research, because I myself suffered from severe cystic fibroids in my ovaries, and I had menstrual cycles where it looked like a murder scene. Okay? So you can still have children after you lose your menstrual cycle. Actually, your menstrual cycle is your body purging toxins out of your system. It is your body purging toxins out of your system and aborting unhealthy and dead cells, that basically the eggs, because women are born with all the eggs and all the children they will ever have. Okay? So your body, when it's unhealthy, will start to abort more often, more violently, and more irregularly, because it doesn't have a normal hormone flow. So the science is not real. The science there is not effective for women, because the science there is being done based on the assumption that a menstrual cycle is healthy. Okay? Men tend to purge through their skin. So men tend to purge through their skin. You notice that men tend to sweat more. Men tend to have more glands where they are more sweaty, where they are excreting more. So men tend to sweat through their skin. You notice if a man drinks a lot of alcohol, you tend to smell alcohol more on men than you do on women, because men tend to release through their skin. Okay, so I say look up your own research, your own unbiased research that is not fed by a lot of this, a lot of the system of the pharmaceutical system that tells you that having irregular and heavy periods is normal, because it's not. Okay, I can tell you this from experience. Having heavy and irregular periods is not normal. Okay, missing your period is actually more normal than having irregular or having heavy menstrual cycles, because your body is aborting toxins. It is aborting viable cells, viable eggs, because it is toxic. It is in a toxic environment. Because the idea, we've been told our whole lives that in order for us to stay fertile at every single moon cycle, we have to release an egg, and the egg doesn't get fertilized, so then it is aborted out of the body. Okay? Yes, that is good for that to happen. However, if you are having it very heavy menstrual cycles and your menstrual cycle is very painful, then that tells me that your body is very toxic. Also, a lot of vegan people do not eat all different foods. You can be vegan and eat Twinkies all day, okay? So you need to make sure that, I'm not saying for you to be vegan, I'm saying to eat plant-based, to eat more plants, more fruits and vegetables, to juice more fruits and vegetables, and eat a variety from the rainbow of plants, of fruits and vegetables, because the rainbow of fruits and vegetables have the minerals that we need, both as women and men, to succeed. And you can do your own research. There's tons of people who do juicing, who've done juicing for years, and their blood work never comes out with any issues. So I would suggest doing your own research. Okay. But let's get back to the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. So how do we get ready? Like I said, how do we get ready? We have to release those emotional blockages, the mental blockages, the physical blockages. Like I said, a fast is very important. Okay. When we are going into a elevation of our spiritual body, we have to have the energy, okay? And when your body is constantly breaking down solid foods, it is being utilized, the energy is being utilized for the wrong things. So the energy that you have in your body is being utilized to break down solid food rather than to take care of the functions of your body and take care of the energy that is around your aura, of the clearing of your aura, of the charging of your aura. And also, we're not able to absorb the planetary and solar energies and lunar energies as effectively when our bodies are bogged down, okay, by breaking down heavy foods. So why did Jesus do a fast for 40 days? He didn't eat anything. All he had was water. A lot of spiritual people will tell you fast. A lot of the prophets did not eat for a long period of time before they received their prophecies, because when your body is not weighed down by food, by toxins, it is able to use energy to amplify our aura, amplify our chakras, amplify our spiritual energy to be able to connect to the divine. So if you want to take advantage of the conjunction, I would highly suggest doing a fast that consists primarily of water, juices, natural juices that you juice yourself, fruits and vegetables from all over the rainbow, because if you're not consuming fruits and vegetables from all over the rainbow, then therefore You're not getting all of the vitamins that you need. You can also do a vitamin supplement as well. Okay, so I would highly suggest to fast. This is the suggestion of spirit. If you don't want to take that suggestion, that's not my problem. I'm gonna benefit from it. You don't want to benefit from it, that's okay. You don't have to do what I say. I'm telling you as a messenger of spirit what spirit told me to do. Now, if you want to question spirit, then that's up to you. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to do what spirit told me to do so that I can receive the energy that I want to receive from the conjunction, okay, of the energies of Saturn and Jupiter, okay? What's another thing? Releasing emotions. So if you want to you want to journal, so you want to journal out all of these emotions, acknowledge and release the emotions that are holding you back. If there are certain people that you feel these negative connections to, take the time to really explore that connection. Why does this relationship with this person make you feel this certain way? Why do you how is it that you want to change how you feel about this person? How is it that how you're going to change that person? Because this is not about changing other people. This is about changing yourself. So evaluating and exploring how you can better relationships with others and with other people, and deciding, do I want to continue trying to pursue this relationship, or is it better for me to release it and let it go into the universe and then allow for whatever the universe knows will be better for me, okay? All right? So the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn is going to be happening for a few days. It's going to take about 3 days for it to happen. It is a giant portal that people have been waiting for between 600 to 800 years, okay? It is a portal that the spirits have also been waiting for, that the goddess has also been waiting for a very long time. Well, for them, it's not a very long time. For us, it is, but they've been waiting for human years for this to happen, because it is a portal that will allow a reset into a higher vibrational energy. Okay. So if you can't fast at the moment, consume a lot of fruits and vegetables and try to cut back on dairy, meat, and eggs. Okay. Okay. Jupiter talks about expansion. So Jupiter is that energy of abundance. So when the portal opens between December 21st and December 25th, Christmas Day or Jewel, during this time of Jewel, we have the energies of Saturn and Jupiter, which in a way are very similar energies yet opposite energies, and they allow for expansion. So they allow for us to elevate spiritually. They allow for us to elevate financially, for us to elevate mentally, emotionally, physically, but it is up to us to actually utilize the energy. So if we are purposely trying to stay in that vibration, or we kind of are like, you know what, it's too hard, it's too much work, I'm not going to do it, then what is going to happen is nothing's going to happen for you. Everything is going to stay exactly as it is for you, okay? For those of us who do the work, for those of us who put in the time into releasing energy, what's going to happen is that Jupiter is going to help us expand and give us more of the positive things that we are attracting, that we want to attract. And then Saturn is going to fall away and remove those limitations from us, because Saturn can either be a place where you grow or a place where you stay stagnant. And because I like to think of Saturn as the box planet. It is the planet that either pushes your limits to think outside the box and to create outside the box, or it keeps you in the box because you just want to stay in the safe place, in the safe, comfortable place. So then it's like, okay, well, then you just want to stay where you are, okay? Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of luck, of prosperity, of philosophy, of spiritual elevation. However, if you are not doing the work, it will give you more of what you're doing, which is not give you any growth, okay? Or it will give you more of the negative things that you don't want. Like if you are feeling very depressed, you'll get more depression because you're not working on the things to release that energy, to move that energy, okay? If you're working on releasing the negative and you let go and you truly forgive and you really move on from those situations, and then you do some magic, okay, which if you want to learn a magical ritual for the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, you can join me in my VIP group. You have to subscribe to my VIP group to learn a small ritual that I will be doing. I will be teaching in the VIP group on expansion with Jupiter. So, but I can tell you right now, if you want, you can just light a candle and set your intentions on what it is that you want Jupiter to bring for you. Okay, so if you want to be stable, you'll be stable. You'll be staying in the same place. If you want to grow, if you want abundance, if you want prosperity, then and not only if you want it, but if you are doing the work to receive it. If you are doing the work of removing your blockages consciously, it will allow you to expand into your abundance and your prosperity. But it may feel uncomfortable to you because when we grow, we don't feel comfortable at first. We feel out of our skin. We feel like anxiety. We feel a little bit of stress and anxiety about it because our bodies are made not to help us grow, but to help us survive. So when we are just surviving, we just do the bare minimum, and our body tries to keep us protected, and our mind tries to keep us protected by just keeping us alive rather than helping us to expand. So whatever it is that you desire, you have to release the fear of receiving that which you desire. So you want to build your own home. You have to release the fear of the possibility of having that, okay? Because there is a fear, an underlying fear that your mind has in your subconscious mind that it's like, oh my God. So one of the things that it's good to do is something called script writing, where you write your future as if it has already happened. Because if you can trick your brain into thinking that these things have already happened, even though it's not here yet in the physical realm. If you trick your brain into the thought that these things have already happened in the future, it will start to work. It will get out of your way so that the universe can help and your work can manifest and can amplify with the energy of Jupiter to receive that which you desire. Okay, so it takes work. Spirituality takes work. As a high priestess, I can tell you I did not get to where I am by being all love and light and everything nice. I had to cry my ass out. I had to release people. I had to release things. I had to suffer. I had to sacrifice a lot of things. I had to let go and let God. I had to learn to not always think that I have control over the world and over how things turn out. I had to learn to trust in the universe while doing my work and doing the work that Spirit has led me to do. Spirit tells me, do this bath, do this candle, then I would do it and then once I did it, I started to see things amplify for myself. So once we have the ability to reconnect with our spirit guides, your spirit guides have the ability to tell you, you need to do this, and this, okay? My spirit guides tell me when I need a cleansing bath, when I need a spiritual cleansing, when I need to do certain things for my business, when I need to do certain things for my spiritual practice. They tell me everything that I need to do so that I can get to the goal that I want to achieve. However, if you are bogged down physically, which is why I'm suggesting the fasting and the higher vibrational foods, because if you're bogged down by food, if you feel tired after every time you eat, your brain, your spiritual energy is not strong enough to manifest what you desire. The most powerful magicians are able to manifest things very, very, very quickly because they know that they must fast for a certain amount of time before they do a spell, before they do any kind of magical working, okay? So I would suggest starting to do maybe not fasting, but reducing the amount of food you're eating every day. Making sure to eat more fruits and vegetables, drinking a lot of water, a lot of water. You should be at least drinking you should be drinking in ounces, half of your body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 pounds to 150 pounds, 100 ounces to 150 ounces of water. Let me make that clear. If you're 200 pounds, you should be drinking about 100 ounces to 120 ounces of water a day. If you're not drinking 100 to 120 ounces of water a day and you weigh 200 pounds, you're not giving your body enough hydration to actually transmute spiritual energy, to actually connect to the higher self, to actually connect to your spirit guides. Okay? You need to be watering yourself just like plants. Plants need water to do photosynthesis and they need light. So you need to be getting water and you need to be getting sunlight, or you need to be getting enough vitamin D. Okay? Vitamin D can come from yellow fruits, orange and yellow fruits. Not pounds, 100 ounces. Excuse me, I misspoke. Not pounds, 100 ounces if you're 200 pounds, okay? So because your body is 50 to 60 to 70% water, depending on your own makeup, okay? You are 60 to 70% water, and any dip in hydration, your brain starts to die because it doesn't have enough water to conduct electricity. We know that water is a conductor of electricity. Your brain is based in electricity. Okay, they are electrical pulses that jump from neuron to neuron in your brain. Okay, so we need the water to conduct not just the electricity in our brains, but also the electricity of our spiritual body. Our spiritual body needs water to conduct because it is a spiritual energy that is attached and it's connected to the elements. So you need spiritual water, you need fresh air, you need sunlight, okay? Sunlight and moonlight, and you need the proper earth element around you and within you. So you're consuming the proper earth element, such as fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, okay? Because these are the things that will allow us to conduct that spiritual energy that we wish to conduct. Everybody's always asking me, Priestess May, how is it that you, and this was known before science, because our forefathers, our ancestors, our indigenous ancestors, and our African ancestors, and even some of our European ancestors who were pagans, knew that in order for us to conduct spiritual energy, you needed the four elements. So you needed water. So it's not just science. Science is just magic. Science is just a way to prove magic and to kind of say, oh, here it is. This is how it works. But magic is real, okay? Science is just a way to try to prove how magic works, okay? Our ancestors knew that you needed the elements. That is how the elements are used to amplify our spiritual energy and to conduct the energy that we need to connect to spirit. If you want to ask me my opinion and you don't like the answer, then I suggest that you leave the chat and that you leave my complete page. Because if you're asking me for my opinion as an expert, as a high priestess that has been doing this my entire life, and then you don't like the answer, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Because that's how it works. I had to get my body, okay? I had, for a very long time, my body was very healthy, and then I fell off of it because of personal things that were happening in my personal life. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a perfect person. my physical body fell off of the healthy regimen that the archangels had me on and that the mysteries had me on, and some of my my connection lowered a little bit. But as soon as I started to get back on my regimen, okay, I started to connect deeper and deeper and deeper again. And now my body is starting to become healthier again. And as my body starts to get healthier, as I start to conduct more electricity in my body with the use of the 4 elements, the more powerful my connection to spirit becomes, and the more powerfully I can hear them, see them, and communicate and exchange energy and ideas with them. So, and not just that, but also share, okay? I was able to share my magic with others through the High Priestess May collection by allowing myself to become more energetically powerful through the use of the elements and the use of fruits and vegetables and juices and water, and making sure that my body had what it needs so that I can share my energy with others and help heal others and aid others in healing themselves. Okay? And you do need as well the energy of the sun, because the sun gives us, the vitamin D gives us that passion, that energy. If you are lacking motivation, that most likely means that you are very low in vitamin D, okay? Because when you lack motivation, you are very low in vitamin D. You don't have the solar energy you need in order to succeed. And a lot of solar energy comes from fruits and plants, because they are the ones who absorb the solar energy, use water to create photosynthesis and to grow, okay? So if you are not utilizing the energy of fruits and plants, okay, get some sunlight. If you're not able to get enough sunlight, make sure you're consuming enough citruses like oranges and lemons and pineapple, and those fruits that have a lot of sunlight. Sunflower seeds have a lot of sunlight. Did you know that when sunflowers can't find the sun, they face each other? So eating sunflower seeds, fruits, vegetables, especially those orange and yellow vegetable fruits and vegetables, have a lot of vitamin D that help us to connect with that solar energy. You have, if you're not allergic to nightshades like tomatoes, it would be good to eat some nightshades like tomatoes to get that lunar energy, because the tomatoes are nightshade. They're a nightshade plant, and they actually grow at night during the moonlight. Okay? So you need the rainbow. You need to eat from the rainbow. So go to your grocery store. I was able to get enough juice for a whole week with $50. So I was able to buy $50 of produce, and I was able to have enough juice, so that's 8 ounces to 16 ounces of juice a day for $50. Okay, so if you do want to start juicing, I can tell you that it is very affordable. If you're not buying all the other stuff, it is very affordable to be able to start juicing, because for $50 or $40 you can get almost a whole week's worth of produce, fruits and vegetables that you can juice and that you can eat. Okay, so it depends obviously on your local grocery store. Yes, you can do smoothies of frozen fruit. So if you can't do the fresh produce, you can just do smoothies of frozen fruit and vegetables. So you can do smoothies of frozen fruit and veggies too, and drink a lot of water. Okay, you can drink coffee, but I suggest not drinking too much coffee. You don't want to drink more than 8 ounces to 16 ounces of coffee a day, and try not to consume too much sugar with it, because processed sugar is not very good for you. But things like the sugars in fruit are different from the sugars. Science and all the other people out there that are not herbalists will tell you that fruit sugars are bad for you, but they're actually not. I've done the research, and fruit sugars are actually much better for you than processed sugar is, and the value that you get from the fruit outweighs the sugar that it has. Now, if you're concerned about sugar, consume more vegetables, but do try to consume as much citruses as possible, because that will help with balancing your body's alkalinity and acidity. Okay, so because citruses are used, okay, to break down proteins that are too heavy for our bodies to break down. Okay. Yes, you can have coconut milk. Almond milk actually has the highest benefit. Okay. All right. You can use honey, but make sure that when you are eating honey, that you're not heating it up so much that you kill its benefits. The raw honey is really the only honey that I would suggest. Raw honey. But if you overheat it, you kill its benefits. Okay. You can drink oat milk, but oat milk is very full of sugar. I love oat milk. I'm not going to lie. Oat milk is probably one of my favorites, plant alternative milks. But I would suggest coconut or almond more. But if you have no other option than oat milk, then yeah, oat milk is fine. Oat milk is better than eating pus, which is what is in cow's milk. Unfortunately, it's pus and blood. Okay, so when you're consuming pus and blood, that gets stuck in your body. That is why you have heart issues and why we have certain genetic conditions. They're not genetic. We just follow the same diets as our parents, and that is why we end up having the same diseases as our parents. It's not because it's a genetic condition. It's because we are continuing the same habits. Okay. Yeah, you can have oatmeal, and there's oat milk as well. That's what someone was asking about. I'm not sure about oat milk helping with breast milk production. I'm not sure about that. I haven't looked into that. It's our foods that are making us sick. It is our foods that are passing down generational curses of illness. It is not the actual genes, because our genes are not the ones that are making us sick. It is our habits of eating, because if you eat how your parents eat, and then your parents eat how your grandparents eat, and so on and so forth, then of course you're going to have the same genetic conditions. Cow milk is just pus and blood. Correct. That is exactly why I stopped eating cheese and why I stopped eating milk. As much as I used to love it, I was like, oh, it's just pus and blood. Yeah. So, and it also reduces your conductivity. If you have mucus in your body doesn't conduct electricity, and then the electricity that you need inside your body to conduct the functions of your organs and your brain and your spiritual energy are not there. So that's all that I have for you today. I hope that helps you out. Take it or leave it. Again, I'm not a medical professional. I study herbalism. I learned herbalism from my grandfather. Traditionally, I study the ways of my ancestors. Yes, our ancestors ate a lot of meats and things like that, but they also didn't have as many toxins as we have now. So just the idea that, oh, because my ancestors ate meat, then it's okay for me to eat it, not anymore, because look at all of the pollutants in meat and in dairy and all of those things that maybe our ancestors consumed that is no longer good for us to consume. Okay, so I would highly suggest working on your diet, because your diet becomes your life, and your health is your wealth. You cannot be abundant, you cannot be healthy if you don't have the energy that you need to be motivated to put in the work, both physically and spiritually, to manifest your desires. Okay? All right, everyone. Love you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.